Hello, I'm back from Japan. Yay! So, yeah, I've been gone for the last 2 weeks. Spent a week in Japan and stayed over at another place in between that and coming home. Came home like a couple of hours ago. But I had to make this video because it's December 18th in the year 2017, which 2017, which means it's the 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy. And if you follow me on any social media, you know that I very much love Final Fantasy. In fact, I wanted to have my Final Fantasy collection lit up, but apparently the lamp's busted, and it's, frankly, I can't go buy a new one because the stores are closed, and yeah, that's just typical, perfect, just what I needed on the big anniversary day. But yeah, 30 years! I became a fan in the 90s, which is when the series came to Europe, well, the West in general, and I have played, every main entry. I own every main entry and a bunch of other spin-off stuff. I own plushies, characters, and a bunch of merch, and etc, etc. I love this series. It's my favorite video game series. And of course, earlier this year, I actually played through Final Fantasy 1 on the MSX, which didn't really go that well, but we finished it. It was a horrible experience. I don't like Final Fantasy 1, but it's an important part of video game history, and of course today we celebrate its 30th anniversary. I am really happy that something I adore has managed to be alive for so long. All of the earlier video game series that I loved, very few of them still survive to this day. Sure, there's Dragon Quest, which is a year older, but things like ultimately died, which is a shame, and a lot of other 80s video game series just aren't around anymore. If they are, they had a long period of not being active. But Final Fantasy is still going strong. Final Fantasy 15 is just a year old, and I still love it, and it's still getting new content. Final Fantasy 14 is, alive and well and going strong. I need to actually get back and play that over the winter holidays so I can be ready for the next patch. Yeah, 30 years. It feels kind of amazing. Now, my favorite entry in the series is Final Fantasy 3, which I mentioned before. I fell in love with the Famicom Final Fantasy 3 back in the days of emulation, when all you had in Europe was Final Fantasy 7 and emulating the older games. And at the time I played Final Fantasy 1 and 2 and 3, eventually moved on to 4, 5 and 6. And yeah, Final Fantasy 3 stuck out to me as something very special. And while I do like the 3D remake, it's okay. I do feel it loses some of the charm of the original, but it's for the most part a more fairer experience, because Final Fantasy 3 on Famicom is kind of complete bullshit at times. It's probably the hardest Final Fantasy game. Not even probably, it definitely is the hardest Final Fantasy game, and it's completely unfair, which is not a good thing, but I still love it. I also really have come to appreciate a lot of games that I first didn't really see the charm of. Final Fantasy 12 in particular, when that released, 11 years ago, I was pretty down on it. I didn't like it. I felt it was a bit too different from previous experiences. I didn't really like the art style that much, despite it being by the amazing Yoshida Akiho. I hope I said the right artist there. If not, that's going to be unfortunate. I don't know, it didn't click with me. And it probably didn't help that I wasn't too big on the tactics games. But I revisited the game a few years later, and now it's one of my favorite Final Fantasy games in the series. And of course, Final Fantasy 14 was a disaster when it released 7 years ago. Oh my god, it was 7 years since that released. That is amazing. Wow. And 4 years since Remember Born came out. Yeah, I still play that to this day, and I own the original 1.0 game, and I played Remember Born since the closed beta. And I still play it now, and I love it. Other games, I feel I do need to revisit some games I was a bit down on. The plan for this year was to actually play through all the numbered main entries, the 15 main games. Skipping the online games for the most part, just doing like sort of a overview thing for those. But following my playthrough of Final Fantasy 1 and MSX, a bunch of things got in the way of me continuing. I actually had a playthrough of Final Fantasy 2 ready to go, but like my schedule got really messy. I had a lot of trouble with my transition stuff and my economy, etc., etc., and I had to go focus on doing other things, which I'm still sort of dealing with. So I had to sort of cut out, plan out. Otherwise, I really wanted to do the Final Fantasy 30th Anniversary Challenge that I called it. And I'm still planning on playing through all those games in some sort of series on here. I will get back to Final Fantasy 2 soon. I might do them out of order, because I do want to replay Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age. And I also want to replay Final Fantasy 15 with all the DLC and stuff that is out now. Which I have, but haven't played. I haven't actually played the game since before the first DLC campaign came out. I was very happy with the final product of Final Fantasy 15 when it released. So the fact that there's a lot of new stuff now for me to rediscover when I finally do replay it, I'm pretty excited about that. And the fact that most of it is free is really cool. Like, I don't really see when people are so down on it. To me, actually, I think it's one of the better examples of this games as a service thing. Because yeah, it has a season pass with paid DLC content, but that's meaty, you know, proper add-on campaign stuff, and all these other various things, including like some storyline expansions and new gameplay features, that's free. Like, you just get those as updates. That is pretty cool. I like that. It reminds me, it's very much how I feel one of these games should function. Because like, there's not a bunch of microtransactions or whatever in Final Fantasy 15. Maybe there isn't a multiplayer expansion. I haven't played it yet. But like, no, it just functions as its own thing, and I really appreciate that. I think it's really cool. So I'm excited to replay that as well. Final Fantasy X, I did not like Final Fantasy X back in 2003 or whenever I played it. So I do need to revisit that at some point and see what I think about it now. I have the HD version on pretty much every system it's out on. So I have no reason not to replay it, but I just haven't gotten around to it. And yeah, Final Fantasy is very important to me. It's one of the first, well, it wasn't one of the first console RPGs I played, but it was one of the first console RPGs that I played where I could engage in customization. And that was very important to me. Even when I had preset characters, the games would often allow fun ways to play with them. And that still continues to this day. Like, when you're playing as Noctis, you still get to pick what playstyle he has, what he wears, etc., etc. You know, I grew up on games like Ultima, which, you know, regardless of what playstyle you put on your character, it still played the same way. I grew up with Phantasy Star, which is an amazing game that actually has its 30th anniversary in just 2 days. But that game, you know, it was still locked to characters and the way those characters fought. It didn't really have the customization angle. It was more character focused in that way. And Final Fantasy very much understood the concept of making your story come through these characters. And I still appreciate that to this day. I love the fact that the series constantly reinvents itself with new ideas, new styles, and everything like that. It's a good contrast to Dragon Quest, which very much has its, you know, style that it sticks to, whereas Final Fantasy will play around more. I mean, obviously there's exceptions, like Dragon Quest, you know, added character customization for 9 and 10 with the online capabilities. Actually, I think, yeah, 4 also had character customization. Did 3 have? I don't think 3 had, did it? No, it did! You could change the main character gender, I think. 3 was really good. But this isn't about Dragon Quest. Final Fantasy, though, like, it's such an important game. It's such an important series. I wish it all well in the future. I can't wait to see what it brings. And I'm rambling. So this has been a short vlog. I just came back from Japan. I will be back to doing stuff soon. And yes, Japan was wonderful. I do have content from that coming up as well. And for now, I'm going to tip over my Jastola figure and simply say, let's see, Happy birthday, Final Fantasy, and of course, to me. That was the best improvised rhyme I could think. See ya!